مرحبا بكم يا أصدقائي. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to say time passed in Arabic. مر الوقت. And we are also going to learn how to use doubled verbs in Form 1. However, before we get started, if you enjoy these videos and you would like to see more Arabic videos, then please hit subscribe now, as it really helps the channel grow. شكرا جزيلا. لنبدأ. So, the verbs that we are going to be looking at today are doubled verbs. Now, we saw a doubled verb and we saw its conjugation in the previous video on the verbs to think. اعتقد and ظن. Now, just a quick review. ظن يظن is to think. And the root letters are ظ, nun, nun. However, in Arabic, we do not write, we tend to not write two noons, next to each other. So instead, we write a shadda on top. So this indicates that there are two noons. So you know that there's not just two root letters, there are three, but two of them are the same. It's the same with marra. Marra yamurru is to pass, and the root letters are mim, ra, ra. However, we're not going to write two ras, so instead we write the shadda on top. It's the same with adda ya'uddu, which means to count. So the root letters are ain and del, del. However, we're not going to write two dels, so we put the shadda on top. Now, let's see how these verbs are conjugated in the past, as it's quite confusing. So we're going to use marra, as we're focusing on marra today. So notice how it's marra, huwa marra, but how the verbs in green, the other ra has appeared. So I like to think of this as essentially the verb opens up, because in the huwa, or the third person singular, the second ra is trapped under the shadda. However, for the first person and the second person pronouns in the past tense, the ra opens up and the shadda disappears, and instead you see both the ras. Right. So I've highlighted the ones in green where both the ras are present. So pause this, take a pen and paper, and write this out until you memorize this, as it is vital that you know how to conjugate doubled verbs in the past. Okay, let's continue with some examples to illustrate this. مر الوقت بسرعة. Time passed quickly. مررت من خلال هذه المدينة. I passed through this city. So من خلال is through. Medina is city. Now I just want to draw your attention to the fact that we don't say, so when we want to say time passed, as in the intransitive, we use marra. But if you want to say I spend time, you don't say مررت الوقت. You say قضيت الوقت or أمضيت الوقت. I've done a video on the verb قضى, so check it out. I'll put the link in the description. But when we want to say I passed, it's the transitive, as in you passed through somewhere or you passed next to it. So I passed through this city. مررت من خلال. عددت إلا 10 قبل الاقتراب منها. You counted to 10 before approaching her. So عددت, it's opened up because it's the أنت. إلا 10, so إلا means 2. قبل الاقتراب. قبل is before. الاقتراب is the masdar of اقترب يقترب, which means, and then you need the preposition min afterwards, which means to approach or to move closer. It comes from the root قرب. قريب means close. I've done a video on masdars, verbal nouns, so I'll attach that in the description. هل قصصت شعر الملك? Did you cut the king's hair? So hel is a question. We put this before at the start when we want to make a question. It's like est-ce que in French. قص يقص is to cut hair. شعر is hair. ملك is king. Now notice that this is an idafa construction. We'll see this in another video. This shows possession. So in English we would have the apostrophe, the king's hair, but we don't have this in Arabic. So it's quite literally hair of the king. Now you're probably thinking, why is it not الشعر الملك? Why is there no definite article on شعر? That is because in an idafa construction, only the final noun takes the definite article, the L. So the other part doesn't need to. So it's quite literally شعر الملك, hair of the king. Okay, let's see the conjugation of marra or doubled verbs in the present tense. The present tense is easier than the past tense, as apart from the antunna and the hunna, where they do open up, as in you see both ras, the rest of it behaves fairly regularly in the sense that only there is one ra visible and the other is trapped under the shadda. So amurru, tamurru, tamurina. Same idea. Pause this, take your pen and paper, write this out until you memorize this. Okay, let's continue with some examples.
هل تقدر على أن تعد إلى الوراء بالعربية؟
Can you count backwards in Arabic? So قدر يقدر علة is the same as استطاع يستطيع, to be able to. And then N, so after N, the verb is in the subjunctive. I'll attach my video on the subjunctive. So it's the fatha at the end. إلى الوراء, literally, وراء means behind or to the behind, so backwards. غالبا ما أمر من خلال هذا الشارع. I usually pass through this street. So غالبا ما is I usually, من خلال, through, الشارع, street or road.
لا يود أن ينضم إلينا.
He doesn't want to join us. So ود يود is a doubled verb. It means to want. Synonym of أراد يريد. After N, the verb is in the subjunctive. Now, انضم ينضم is also a double verb, but it is form 7. ينضم إلا. It means to join to someone or to a thing. This is form 7, and we know this because of the nun. Now, don't worry about this too much for now. We'll see a video on this, but it's just an example of another doubled verb in a different form in Arabic.
نظن أنك موهوب.
We think that you are talented. So, ظن يظن نظن, we think. أنك, that you are. So, أن is that, plus ka is you are. We don't say أن أنت, it's أنك. I've done a video on to think that, and أن, I'll attach the video in the description. Mawhoob is talented. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section. شكرا جزيلا وإلى اللقاء.